Welcome back, guys, to Trails of Cold Steel, where last episode, after checking out the school grounds and talking to even more friends and family of our classmates, we fed George, who was looking over the giant robot below, before meeting Elise as planned for a tour around the festival grounds. Finally, after a royal entrance to the academy, it was time for Class 1's operetta and Class 7's concert, as Angelica arrived just in time to see our performance bringing us victory in the popularity contest. Now we finish up the festival with a dance around the bonfires at night.
Oh.
Mother and grandfather are still here.
My dad, too. And my brother, though I can't imagine why.
Elliot, Crow. I just wanted to thank you for everything you've done for us.
You mean for the concert?
What brought that on? You got so serious there, I was getting kind of scared.
It's just that our performance today never would have been possible without the two of you guiding it along. I wanted to make sure that you knew how much I appreciate you doing that.
Damn, man. Is making people feel awkward a hobby of yours or something?
Aw, it's no big deal. Besides, it was a real team effort. Everyone played a part. I mean, look at you. You were a fountain of good advice through this whole thing. And honestly, I should be the one thanking everyone.
Huh?
You all helped me rediscover just how much music means to me. Because it's not just about performing by myself. It's about performing together, playing off each other's strengths to make something wonderful. So I should be the one thanking you. This never would have happened if I didn't come to this academy.
Elliot.
Holy hell, are you guys trying to see who can make me cringe the hardest?
Elliot, my boy! Your father's arms are ready and waiting for you to leap into them!
Does he always have to say that stuff so loudly? Sorry, I'll see you later, okay?
Yeah, later. This year's festival's been a blast. I'm kinda hoping we can do the same thing next year, too. Though, who knows if Class 7 is even going to exist next year? Crow?
Oh, yeah. Generally, people stay in the same class from their first day to their graduation, but Class 7's basically one giant exception to everything the school's ever done, so who knows?
I guess that has its pluses and its minuses. But no matter what, it's not going to be the same. We won't have you.
If I manage to graduate, at least. Barring any nasty surprises, I'll be in Class 7 till the end of the month. Which means our time as classmates is almost up.
Now that you mention it, yeah. We'll have to see if we can throw you a farewell party around the end of the month then. Can't let you off easy.
Come on, it's no big deal. Trust me, you're still gonna see more than enough of me next year. Sure, I'll have moved out of the dorms, but I'll be sure to stop by once a week to steal some of Sharon's cooking.
You better. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to have to call you Mr. Armbrust or anything after you graduate, am I? I mean, we've spent so much time together that treating you like a proper adult just wouldn't feel right.
Of course not. And if I ever catch you calling me Mr. Armbrust again, I'm gonna smack you. Oh, yeah. Guess it's about time I gave you this back.
Isn't this... I completely forgot about it. You've done so much for me since then. Saving Elise, helping with the concert. Compared to all that, 50 mira is nothing.
The feeling's mutual. Besides, I never return the mirror that I borrow. Makes that coin extra special. So go on, take it.
Oh, by the way, you know there was interest on this, right? How much do you suppose you really owe me after half a year?
Oh man, what kind of racket are you running here anyway? I thought you were supposed to be a good kid.
Well, there's this one second year who's taught me a thing or two about making money. To be honest, it feels kind of lonely to think that everything between us is completely settled and done with. So, what do you say? You still owe me?
I swear, the things I do for love. All right, you'll get your stupid interest someday. Maybe.
Alphen, I am drawn to the party before us like a moth to a flame, like a starving man to a banquet, like beauty to me. What say you we grace the dancers with the gift of our company?
It's as though you read my mind.
Come now, don't waste your time watching. It's time to dance.
No need to worry about formalities tonight. Let's all relax, enjoy ourselves, and maybe let a few secrets slip.
Allow me, Sharon, before every red-blooded boy in this school lines up for a chance.
It would be my honor.
Madam Chairman, might I have this dance?
Of course. Given that our former partners left the dance all too soon, we seem to make for an appropriate pair.
I suppose you're right.
Instructor, I cannot thank you enough for all you've done for my daughter. I can, however, ask you for the pleasure of this dance.
Really? Ooh, he's just my type, too. Oh, just talking to myself. Well, I'll be dancing with all my little kittens by the end of the night. But I suppose I can let you take the first dance.
Well, I don't mind. But seeing you in that dress is enough to make any guy feel intimidated.
They waste no time, do they?
It's no surprise that my grandfather made a beeline for Sharon, but I never expected to see Mother dancing.
In some ways, it seems as though they're younger than we are.
Looks like everyone's having fun, though. Shall we join them?
You've given me more than enough of your time already today. Between showing me around and your incredible concert, you must be exhausted. And besides, I'm sure there's someone else you'd rather dance with here. Why not ask them instead?
Someone else? Well, Instructor Sarah's taken. Okay, we get a choice between... Oh, we do get Instructor Sarah. Which one we're going to cut in on the Radiant Blade Master? That makes sense. Sorry, Radiant Blade Master, out of my way. No. I got one choice that we've been following most of the way through this, wanting to learn more. And it's the middle option too, which works my thing. I think we'll choose Emma.
I knew it. So, I have a potential sister-in-law now, do I?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still, maybe you're right. Maybe I will go ask her. I do feel kind of bad leaving you here on your own, though.
I'm fine, really. Besides, if you spend all this time worrying about me, the music will be over by the time you ask.
Well, okay.
He's such an idiot. Oh, Elise. Your Highness? The generally accepted strategy here would be to keep his eyes on you, not push him toward another girl's tender embrace. If you were to only gather the courage to ask him, I'm certain that he would be more than accommodating. It's fine. I'm fine, honestly.
Emma.
Oh, Rean.
I wasn't expecting to find you here.
Oh, well, I wanted to get away from all the excitement for a little while. How's your sister?
She's just fine. Actually, she was the one who encouraged me to see you. This might not be the right time since you're trying to rest, but would you dance with me?
What? Me? I couldn't possibly. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people you'd rather dance with, or who are better dancers.
Definitely not. But should I take that as a no?
You should take it as an I'd love to.
Whew. That's a relief. Shall we? Everyone's still having fun.
It makes sense. This festival is practically the culmination of everything we've done since the start of the year. I'm sure everyone has plenty of things they want to talk about with each other.
You're probably right.
I'm really sorry. I feel like I've done nothing but keep secrets from all of you since we first met.
You don't need to apologize for that. It's not like you were doing it to hurt or trick us or anything, right?
Of course not. But I still feel so guilty about having to do it. Even though we've spent so much time together, I feel like I'm not really one of you. That I don't belong here.
That's not true. You do belong here. You're an important part of our class, and every one of us cares about you.
Really?
Everybody has their secrets. You don't need to share every little detail of your life for someone to understand you. But if you ever feel like your secrets are too heavy to handle alone, I'm always willing to listen. It doesn't matter what it is. We'll be there, ready to accept it, and whatever it might mean about you.
Rean, I'm sure that someday I'll be able to tell you the truth. So, will you be willing to hold on until then?
No matter how long it takes.
Thank you.
After that, I went back to see Elise. But by then, that memorable evening was approaching its end.
Rean? Elise?
Claire?
Good evening, Captain. You must be exhausted.
Oh, well, it's not as though I performed on stage in front of an auditorium full of people or anything. I really enjoyed your concert, by the way. That's the kind of thing that makes me proud to be an alumnus.
Wait, what? You're a student here?
That's right. I was part of the Academy's 216th graduating class. And since you'll be part of its 221st, I suppose that makes me 5 years your senior.
I had no idea. Why didn't you mention it until just now?
Given that we only ever met while you were on your field studies, it didn't seem pertinent. Besides, once people graduate, they tend to leave their ties to their school behind. Especially here at Thors.
Because it's a military academy?
Exactly. Roughly 40% of the graduates here go on to join the military. Not always the same branch or even the same army. About 30% join the Imperial Army, and 10% go to a provincial force. Students who are best friends one day might find themselves enemies the next.
Rean.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill your happy mood like this. But I'm sure you're well aware of what may lie ahead. That we're teetering on the brink of an era of upheaval.
I'm aware.
Does this have something to do with the issues in Crossbell I've been hearing about?
Yes, amongst other things. It seems as though everyone on the continent is ready to go to war with everyone else. But that's why it's so important that we're able to stand strong no matter what happens. Though, judging by how well Class VII has performed on their field studies, I'm sure you'll all be fine in that regard. Here's hoping that I get the chance to help you out again sometime. Even if I'll have to be careful not to draw the ire of that instructor of yours while I'm doing so.
I'm just glad to know that you have her back. Thank you for that.
You're quite well... Please, excuse me a moment. Yes, Revelt speaking. Mm-hmm. What?
What's going on?
And you're certain of this? Understood. I'll return at once. Yes, I will escort them back to Valflame Palace myself. I'm afraid I have to excuse myself.
I'm really sorry, Elise. My brothers requested that we return to Heimdall right away. But as we're going back by car, I thought I'd offer you a ride home. But...
Elise, I think you should go back with them for now. I'll call you later to make sure you're okay.
Well, all right.
Sorry to drop this on you so quickly, Rean. I'm sure someone from the Academy will fill you in shortly.
Fill me in? On what?
If you'll excuse us.
Don't worry. We'll be sure to get Elise back to the Academy safely.
Does anyone have any idea what's going on?
I'm afraid not. I've never seen Father behave like that before.
My mother's the same way. She got a message of some kind and just changed.
Ditto my father. I think it was someone from Heimdall who got in touch with him.
One thing is certain. Something terrible has happened.
My dad turned pale and was gone before I could ask what happened. It sounded like he received a report from Instructor Neidhart, though.
Hold on. Neidhart's supposed to be...
He was at Gorelia Fortress with the 4th Armored Division on some sort of mission, right?
Speaking of which, has anyone seen Toa or Instructor Sarah?
Students and visitors, I cannot thank you enough for your attendance today. I hereby proclaim the 127th Thors Military Academy Festival complete. But I am afraid I must announce this with a heavy heart, as we have just received word from the Imperial government that this evening, Gorelia Fortress, which rests on the eastern border of the Empire, has been destroyed. No, destruction is an inadequate word. An unknown weapon has erased the fortress in its entirety from existence. I would ask that all of our guests, from that region or otherwise, please try to remain calm.
Well, a fair few days pass. Surely many developments will have taken place. In the days that followed, tension gripped the nation like never before. A photo of the gaping chasm left where Gorelia Fortress once stood made the Imperial Chronicles front page, and the sign of the aftermath was enough to fill the citizens with a sense of inescapable dread. All the while, unconfirmed reports that several armoured divisions had attempted to invade Crossbell had begun to spread, and in every one of those reports the message was the same: they'd been repelled almost effortlessly. Erebonia was starting to feel the effects of the IBC's asset freeze too, and things didn't look good for the economy. As things stood, it was only a matter of time before we faced a spike in corporate bankruptcies and record unemployment. Faced with this crisis, the Imperial government and the officials in Heimdall began working to remedy the situation. Rumours were also spreading that Erebonia's longtime enemy, the Calvard Republic, had thrown its weight behind Crossbell. And with the fortress that once served to safeguard the Empire gone, many speculated that an invasion was only a matter of time. We're missing Eustace? No, who are we missing at the front? Millium, Crow.
I can't take this anymore. Where is she? Homeroom was supposed to start ages ago.
I'm not surprised she's late. The instructors are probably all busy trying to figure out what to do.
That seems more than likely. This morning's meeting has already blown past its normal ending time.
It's still hard for me to believe all of this is really happening. Having been there, the idea that Gorelia Fortress just vanished is difficult to comprehend.
Not all of it, I heard. There are still some parts left and almost untouched. But Instructor Neidhart making it out of there alive was nothing short of a miracle, though.
Those huge railway guns were part of the section that's gone, too. If I hadn't seen the pictures, it'd be kind of hard to believe.
What kind of weapon is even capable of doing something like that? I find myself doubtful that any human could create something so powerful.
We just don't know.
All we do know is that it's impossible to make a weapon that powerful even with today's most advanced orbital technology.
And yet here we are, with just such a weapon in the hands of what's always been seen as a mere vassal state. The Imperial Army has their work cut out for them, I'll say that much.
I'm worried about what's going on in the capital, too. It sounds like there have been even more demonstrations going on there these past few days.
Down with Crossbell, they say. Point our guns towards the east. Is there even any truth to those rumors that Calvert's planning an invasion?
I'm pretty sure it's all nonsense. But considering how there have been tensions between us and them for years, people are just more inclined to believe it.
Rumors are just that. We need to be careful not to be misled by half-truths and speculation. If possible, we should find out exactly what's happening for ourselves.
Yeah. Over the year, we've seen how things are across the Empire with our own eyes. And now's as good a time as any to put that knowledge to use.
Well said. We've had quite the education in getting to the truth behind all the headlines.
That seems to have been a running theme of most of our field studies.
Still, we seem to be missing two of our illustrious members.
Well, there's nothing strange about Crow's habitual truancy. Or did he already transfer back to his original class?
No. He said he was going to be with us through the end of the month. As for Millium, though, I'm not sure.
You don't think it's something to do with the intelligence division, do you?
Well, she is an agent of theirs.
It's kind of easy to forget that, given how she usually is.
It does concern me that none of us have seen her.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, instructor.
Are we starting homeroom?
Not today, I'm afraid. All classes have been canceled. You can either stay here in the building and study until school's out, or go back to the dorm.
So wait.
Has something happened?
Not yet, but it will. Chancellor Osborne's going to be addressing the nation from Dreikel's Plaza at noon. It's set to be broadcast across the entire Empire.
A national address?
Sounds pretty serious. And given the timing...
Indeed. It's not hard to imagine what's on his agenda.
Come on, guys. Straighten up. You're students of Thors Military Academy, and that makes you all cadets. Whatever careers you choose, military or civilian, you need to know how to act decisively in an emergency. So right now, I don't want you to look away from what's happening in the world. I want you to face it straight.
Will do.
You're right. Now's not the time to lose heart.
As for Osborne's speech, apparently we'll be setting up radios in each classroom so the students can listen to the national address. So if you want to follow along, be sure to be back here by noon.
I suppose I might as well listen to it here then.
Same here. I don't even have a radio.
I do, but for something like this, I'd rather not listen to it alone.
Well then, we can all share in the joy of hearing the melodious voice of our esteemed Chancellor. Maybe I should haul in some beer and snacks. That's the only way I'll stay sane through the entire broadcast.
What should we do about Crow and Millium, though? None of us have seen either of them all day.
Do you know where they are?
Can't say I do. Crow's practically made a career out of playing hooky, but I did see Millium earlier this morning.
Oh, so she's still on campus?
At least that means she wasn't called away by the intelligence division.
I'd been thinking along those lines, but when I asked her, she just shrugged and said, "No news from the top!" I doubt she's wandered off too far.
Yes, but lest you forget, she excels at giving us the runaround.
At least it doesn't sound like she's in trouble. We're probably worried over nothing.
We'll just have to tell them we're meeting here at noon if we run into them before then.
Yeah, will do.
I guess everyone's going to check in with their clubs. Looks like I have some free time. Might as well see if I can track down Crow and Millium. At least it sounds like Millium is probably somewhere on campus. Crow, though, he could be anywhere. Probably best to check with Toa and George first. Maybe they know something.
Right then. Time to check around the entirety of school. We've done it so often. Let's see what people have to say. If I shall flowers such as myself cannot bloom on the battlefield, perhaps it would be wise to return home while I still can. No, I cannot let my chance for a fatal encounter with the perfect man slip through my fingers. She's still hanging around in these tense times, looking to grab a desperate man. I don't even know anymore. Well, Emma's up on the roof. Rean? Hey Emma, wasn't expecting to find you here. Oh, you've got Celine there too. Well, she just kind of made her way up here. I was just giving her a little attention while I took a break. You're looking for Crow and Millium, I take it. Yeah, I have no idea where to even start though. Those two are always up to something. Oh well, I'm sure I'll run into them eventually. Good luck in your search. Hey Emma, is something bothering you? Well, it's about Crossbell. I'm concerned about any weapon that could annihilate a fortress the size of Corellia, of course. But I'm almost more concerned about the whole sequence of events that led up to that. It almost feels like someone's or something's hand is guiding all of this to happen in a very specific way. Wonder if this has anything to do with whatever she's been keeping secret from us. Don't let it get you, okay? I think maybe all the novels I've been reading lately have just made me paranoid. Nah, you raise a good point. One worth keeping in mind, I think. Anyway, I'll catch you later. As soon as I find Crow and Millium, I'll head back to the classroom with them. Alright, I'll be waiting for you. The government's scheduled to broadcast their announcement at noon. I do have some things weighing on my mind right now, but this doesn't seem like the time to be thinking about them. Make sure you're back in time to hear the broadcast, okay? I will be for certain. Right. So, 2 destination points. Our classmates are spread throughout everywhere. No one else is up top by the look of things. Time to keep checking out the club rooms then. Hey, Rosie. I find myself worrying about how the children are taking all the news of late. Sister Ornella seems awfully worn out because of it all. At times like this, the very least I can do is to make my way along to the church. Hopefully, I will at least be able to provide some solace to those who are suffering. Actually, speaking of which, can we go to Trista? No, we can't. Well, it's going to be less people because we just got the students now, after all. I've heard they're gathering on Van Quist Street in Heimdall for more protests and demonstrations. My dad's been really busy too, though. That doesn't come as much of a surprise. I don't have much time to just relax and enjoy good music if war breaks out, will I? Elliot. Sorry. There's not really much point in getting worried about right now, is there? Besides, I've got this feeling, you know, like everything will be okay as long as Class 7 sticks together. I guess the best thing to do right now is just keep calm. Right, whatever happens, we'll stick it out together. Elliot's very worried. There's still some time to go before the Chancellor's speech. Can't shake this uneasy feeling, but I guess right now the best thing we can do is keep calm. What about to ask, are there nobles in this classroom? Seems like they'd be recalled if anything going on, because the noble families would know before time, wouldn't they? For all this, I was worried about what I was going to do after graduating, but who knows what's going to happen after the Chancellor's speech today. Sorry, we second years supposed to be the ones supporting you first years at a time like this, not vice versa. Hey, man. It's really scary to think that a war might break out. Maybe I should go home to Mum and Dad and Rua. But as a super niece, I can't just leave Uncle Makarov here alone to fend for himself. He's got someone around. It would seem that we are truly on the verge of war. Why must the world be filled with such tragedy? I joined this academy to spread the joys of love, not prepare my students for the horrors of war. We're in a military academy, though. It's one of the things you do have to prepare for. Millium, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I haven't seen her today. That's not unusual, though. Today's technically an ordinary school day, so she wouldn't have been here anyway. Oh, okay, then. She not normally come to club, ever? Still chiseling away. What? I really don't care. The only thing I care about is dedicating myself completely to my work, body, and soul. Thinking back to how I felt during our field study in Nord, I really don't want to see a war break out. Not just for Nord's sake, but for Erebonia's too. After all, this country feels like a second home to me now. I really don't want to see a war break out. No one does, but it looks like that's what's happening. I mean, Class 7 can be at the right place at the right time for a lot of situations, but we don't swim, well, we do swim with the powerful people, but we don't work in political circles. I fear Chancellor Oswald's predictions may have been right, and the turbulent times that he spoke of are at hand. But do not fear, we are a military academy. We are well prepared for emergencies. All you can do for now is remain calm and wait for the speech at noon. Hey, just think, if they were to bomb here or do anything here, the old schoolhouse is looking like one hell of a multi-floored possible shelter hidey place. After all, it seems to take you to another dimension. Can't get bombed in another dimension, right? Well, not much we can do now but wait till noon for the Chancellor's broadcast. I'd rather not hear his voice spilling out over the airways, but this is too important to miss. You really don't like him, do you? He was the one who picked a fight with me, and I'm not going to let him forget it. I've got every intention of returning him the favour after what he did to the Bracer Guild in Heimdall. Just thinking about it makes me want to punch something. Maybe I should have brought a beer to the classroom after all. Or maybe a whole keg. Don't know now, but Vice Principal Heinrich has given you the evil eye. Things have gotten pretty crazy recently, but I don't want you to look that way. You need to understand what's happening, or look away, in fact. The student council is handing out a radio to every class, so don't worry about finding one for yourself. Just make sure you're back in the classroom by noon. Technically, Rean had one you could set up in dorm. I get that you're worried, but try to stay calm. If you want to take a break from the academy, now would be the time to ask your homeroom teacher. Given the way things are going, you'd probably get approval, no questions asked. I imagine quite a few people have already asked. Nightheart is here at school and not out on the front lines, despite the fact the fortress got taken out. Of course, we knew he was fine because he was the one giving the news to Lieutenant General Craig, but still. Oh, Craig, sorry. Instructor Nightheart, I wasn't aware that you returned to the academy. Well, I have, Schwarzer. It's good to see you again. Sounds like Class 7 put on quite the performance. It's very kind of... Wait, weren't you in Gorelia Fortress during the attack? Crossbell's mystery weapon just annihilated it. How are you alive? I was on the training grounds with the rest of the 4th Armored Division at the time. We saw something appear in the sky to the east, and the next moment the fortress was surrounded by a blinding light. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it myself. I still hardly believe it. I can't bring myself to imagine what would have been had that light engulfed us. I'm just glad that you weren't hurt. But things must be incredibly busy for the Imperial Army right now. You could say that. Gorelia Fortress was our primary stronghold in the east, so losing it has us scrambling. Especially now that Crossbell has proven itself just as much of a threat as Calvin. Which is precisely why I'm resigning from my position as an instructor at this academy. Wait, what? It wasn't an easy choice, but it's my duty as a man and as an Erebonian to devote my all to the military in its time of need. Although I do wish I could have been here to see the festival. Instructor Nightheart, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us. We're praying for your success and your safety. Likewise, I'm sure the future holds challenges that only you and Instructor Valestein can overcome. Know where you stand and what you're capable of, and brace yourself for whatever the future demands of you. Yes, sir. That's the words of a bracer. Brace yourself. Put it bluntly, the army is in a state of disarray. However, we cannot remain docile while the enemy treads on our land. It isn't just about the army. It's an affront to the entire Erebonian Empire. Know where you stand and what you're capable of, and brace yourself for whatever the future demands of you. Just repeating that last line. Did that instructor of yours not inform you that all classes are cancelled today? You have the option of remaining within the academy for self-study or returning to your dorm until school hours are over. The content of this speech will determine how this academy will conduct itself going forward. In order to give proper instructions, we need everyone to remain safely ensconced within the academy. So we're actually on lockdown in the academy, and that's why we can't go to Trista. Former army lady. Gorelia Fortress has been annihilated, likely taking its commander's life with it. To make matters worse, Crossbell has blocked off the Transcontinental Railroad and put extra pressure on the economy. It seems that this nation has more than enough excuses now. And how unfortunate that is. Yes, a nation that just wants an excuse as well. Technically, it has been attacked first. The Chancellor's speech will likely change the course of history. I'd rather not exert myself so much. I'm not as young as I used to be. It kind of has every right. Though you still don't want him to, because you don't want nations to go to war, because that's bad for everyone involved. I'm rather concerned about the future of the academy. The worst case scenario could see the academy closing its doors in an indefinite length of time. I'm sure it would dishearten the faculty and students alike. They say a sizable chunk of Gorelia Fortress was eradicated so completely. It's as if it were never there. It's hard to believe such a feat would be possible with artifacts of all magic from the Dark Ages, let alone modern technology. It might be a different story if the Septarians were involved, however. What on earth is a Septarian? Aha, well, there's something of a myth known only to archaeologists and those of us who study ancient legends. The Septarians are said to be 7 all-powerful treasures bestowed upon humanity by Eidos herself. Legend has it that those who possess these treasures use them to gain dominion over the sky, the sea, and the earth. It's hard to imagine something that powerful could even exist. It's certainly more exciting to imagine a Septarion is behind this instead of a weapon made by Crossbell or the Republic. Although, to be honest, the chances of that are practically nil. Even so, my mind keeps wandering back to the orbital shutdown phenomenon that occurred in Liberl 2 years ago. Perhaps the two incidents are related somehow. They couldn't be. Go on, share with me your theories. They're not mad theories to me. My second favourite teacher. Poor Nightheart. He only taught me how to swim. Wow, there's not many people outdoors. No, actually, there's lots of people outdoors. They're just not in the area you would expect. Don't let yourself get too nervous. Every last one of you is a valuable part of this academy. Nobody knows what will happen in the future, but there's no sense in worrying about it now. Right. Gonna be no one in the auditorium. I think a lot of people now have lived through an event that if they were at school age, they ended up being gathered together in, like, assembly or something for. Because, of course, I've lived through one. I imagine most people here have. And been broken news. Horrible. So, weirdly enough, can kind of relate to the situation. Wickham is both my trusty steed and my irreplaceable friend. No matter what may happen, the two of us can overcome it together. Let's keep our heads high, Whitcomb. Nothing shall keep us down. We're supposed to study until the broadcast starts, but I'm way too worried for that. Are we really going to go to war? I don't know how Lambert does it. He doesn't seem fazed by any of this. There's a high likelihood that the Chancellor's speech at noon will be exactly what everyone is expecting. I'm rather uncertain how my father will react to the reformists going and starting a war. You haven't been instructed to go back home yet, have you? I've received no word from my father, no. It just saves me the trouble of having to decline. That also means it's unlikely I'll be able to get in contact with my brother for some time too. I guess that's not that surprising. Rufus once told me I should think about my own position as a member of the House of Albrea. Right now I'm considering what I ought to be doing here at the Academy. What's that? I'll see you in the classroom at noon then. Because there would be, like, this news would be waited with bated breath throughout. Not just this nation, of course, all nations. Because when sister nations, nations near you go to war, for any what reason or something happens, then it's just bad for everyone. Elisa, take heed. Absolutely none of this is your fault, understand? You are independent of the issues surrounding your family, and trying to shoulder that burden is pointless. Thank you, Ferris. I feel relieved just to hear you say that. Well, I only say so for my own sake. How is one supposed to focus when her rival is so visibly uneasy? Oh? I thought doing some lacrosse practice would help clear my head, but that's not going so well. I'm still so shaken that Crossbell has a weapon capable of annihilating Gorelia Fortress like that. This reminds me of something my grandfather told me. Weapons only lead to the creation of more weapons. I'm taking it wondering whether all of this happened because the Rhineford group built those railway guns. I can understand how you feel, but none of this is your fault, you know that, right? I really do, but still. It's also made me realise how heavy of a burden Mother's been shouldering on her own all this time. To be honest, I'm a little relieved that the railway guns are gone. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. I wouldn't worry about it. There aren't any easy answers here. All we can do is stick together as a class and see what the future holds. There's a lot of life at the fortress to make that kind of whole. People just patrolling, people just existing in that fortress that would have been snuffed out in an instant as well. Hey, Teresia, this probably isn't the best time, but thanks for staying here with me. I'm glad that I've got you around. Likewise. Besides, I have other reasons to stay behind too. My family in the Kreuzern province, it's likely that I should be evacuated somewhere should war break out. And if that happens, I would never be able to return to Thors. I would rather make my own decisions than have others do so for me. You know, sometimes it seems like you're even tougher than me. And there's nothing you can do, you gotta blow off some steam and some exercise. Yeah, hopefully working up a sweat will calm us down. Take your mind off it. Oh no, now the chat's speaking about dark things. Makes everyone worry about this. Most games show the outbreak of war. They don't show the moments leading up to it. So much, and like the human kind of slight effect that... Because I even feel like at this point in time, even if it's in a game, there is a tension. What's going to happen to us now? Don't be such a worrywart. Lynn, everything's going to be just fine. Even if things take a turn for the worse, we just go back home, right? Yeah, you're right. War seems like it's just around the corner. But if they can take out Gorelia Fortress, are we really safe here? Looks like Lynn's getting nervous. I get why, but there's no point in letting it get to you. Oh. Well, there's a little bit of happiness over there. Even the flowers seem upset by this turn of events. Perhaps they sense our anxiety. There. You little flowers don't have anything to worry about. I don't know. God, you were crouching down so much I didn't see you against the white background flowers. I'm thinking about raising some new flowers. But what kind? They probably bloom around springtime if you started raising them now. Hopefully we'll actually get to see that happen. Even if war doesn't break out, something's going to change. You should be ready for anything. Yeah, it's good philosophy. I can speak to flowers, yeah. Hello, you two. Looks like Crossbell's locked down all of its borders. I guess that explains why my brother isn't back yet. Given the political climate, however, it comes as no surprise. In fact, it's had me under the Academy's care for an entire week now. I'm just glad I found someone to fish with. What's the plan now? I'm technically engaged to my brother, right? I suppose I am, though I still find that difficult to believe. I believe I should return home. I promised Kerrigan I would, after all. Probably won't be able to see my brother for a while. I hope he's doing okay. Hey, getting on with your sister-in-law already, eh? It's a bummer, but oh well. Be sure to come back sometime. I'd love to fish with you again. You and me both, Kenneth. Until then, please take care. So it wasn't with Kenneth's maybe a little bit too young to be arranged marriaging. I don't know. Not that I believe in arranged marriaging in the first place, but you know. It seems that's the Erebonian system between nobles, which is kind of accurate for what if you're going for period royalty, I guess. Just a librarian? As the Academy Festival ends with that awful news, and now the government is readying an official statement. I keep hoping and praying it's not what I'm afraid it's going to be, but I know worrying about it won't solve anything, but I can't help it. Anything being new added to the bookshelf would be kind of crazy if something was at this point. No. No one else in the library. Sometimes I can't see the bottom of my screen over my mic, so I have to go, Alright then, let's go in here. You really are short-tempered. Maybe eating something might calm you down a bit. What's going on? Between female student and male student? Damn it, time feels like it's dragging on forever. Why couldn't Chancellor Osborne just make his dress first thing in the morning? How am I supposed to get anything done when all I can think about is how long it's going to be till the speech starts? Okay, our canon now is that these guys are siblings, their surname is Student, and their first name is male and female. That's what I choose to believe. About half of the upper class students have already run home. Pretty pathetic after all their talk about how superior they are. You figure a bunch of big fancy nobles will at least wait for a war to break out before running away. There have been demonstrations happening regularly in Heimdall lately. My son Greg works there, so I'm quite worried about him, to tell you the truth. I hope he doesn't get dragged into a riot or something like that. It's the student family, yeah. Mr. Female and Mrs. Male, yes. What? That's the wrong way around. Crow and Millium? Sorry, I haven't seen either of them today. I wouldn't be surprised if Crow was just slacking off somewhere on campus. No idea where Millium might be, though. Let's face it, they are special characters now. Ooh! 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 Yes! And to bring us back to nastier talk again, when things happened, and we were in that assembly, we were let out of school. The first thing I did is I went to the shop when we got off the bus to get home, and I bought every paper in there. So I could get, so I could try to understand what happened as much as possible. I know it's in print word, but it's just what I did. I never expected to see Guerrilla Fortress under attack like that. To make matters worse, Heimdall's been full of protesters ever since. I was hoping to go home, but with everyone panicking like this, I can't see it happening anytime soon. I guess all I can do is sit back, relax, and read some books. Alright, let's check out that paper then. Issue 11. We're not missing an issue. You didn't see anything. Breaking news, Guerrilla Fortress annihilated. On October 24th at 4:21, Guerrilla Fortress, the military stronghold on the eastern side of the Erebonian Empire, was obliterated. The cause of this destruction is believed to be an unknown weapon developed by Crossbell, which recently declared independence. Damage report. The foundation of the fortress remains, but most of it has been destroyed. Reportedly, the number of survivors is extremely small, so anyone inside the base seemed to have just went, making it impossible to ascertain exactly what the cause was. The 5th Armored Division, including its commanding officer, Lieutenant Jerome Walter, also fell in the attack, leaving the fate of the soldiers who were part of it unknown. Current situation. The 4th, 6th, 9th and 11th Armored Divisions have gathered on the Empire's eastern border, and the area to the east of the Twins Dragon Bridge is on high alert. Additionally, the Croatian Provincial Army at the Twin Dragons Bridge and Nortia Provincial Army at the Schwarz Barrier have both dispatched battalions and are preparing themselves for whatever may occur. The Transcontinental Railroad has also suspended services indefinitely. There's demonstrations in Heimdall. The outcry against Crossbell's cowardly behaviour has been ongoing. Day after day, angry citizens filled Dreikel's Plaza, crying out for a declaration of war. Due to the unrest, uncertainty has spurred an increase in the price of goods in Heimdall, and those who believe that the current crisis is the result of a conspiracy between Crossbell and the Coward Republic are increasing in number. Down with crossbow, prepare for the threat of the east, self-employed man. Please be aware that it remains impossible to use IBC bank accounts at this time. Announcement from His Majesty and the government. His Majesty Emperor Eugene III has issued a statement to the nation promising a resolution to the current crisis. In response, the Imperial government also declared that they would take firm action to resolve the situation as well. An important statement would be announced in the coming days, we were told. Who could possibly have imagined that any of these recent events would ever occur, and yet our great nation has overcome countless crises in the past. Our ancestors are strong in the face of adversity, and we too must do likewise. Citizens of Erebonia, now is the time to rise up. By a staff writer. That kind of article took a weird skew midway, and that really got me. Notice to our readers. We thank all of our readers for their continued patronage. Considering recent circumstances, we foresee the possibility that future issues of this paper may experience delays in release and delivery, and ask for your forgiveness should this prove to be the case. Additionally, there are unconfirmed reports of a large bluish-white barrier surrounding Crossbell City. Under the circumstances, it is highly likely this is the result of a new weapon developed by Crossbell, and we ask all those who live nearby, as well as all who have any contact with the region, to be especially careful. We can only pray that these events see a swift conclusion, and all of us can go back to living in peace. Yours sincerely, the war-loving state of Erebonia. Apparently, there are still multiple demonstrations going on in Heimdall. My father's been able to mitigate the worst with help from the government, but there's only so much he can do. I hope he isn't pushing himself too hard. We end up here since we didn't have anything better to do. Do you think this is an okay place to be spending our time, though? We really can't do anything. It's kind of buffing up on military strategy. You might need that soon. This photo of Grelia Fortress is just unfathomable. My heart just sinks every time I look at it. Which reminds me, Rex has changed. He hasn't been rambling on about girls. I wonder if he's okay. Grelia Fortress, gone. This picture's just unbelievable. I think someone's found his calling. And it calls him to the dangerous places. The future has been shrouded in gloom lately. I seem to have lost the ability to tell fortunes since waking up this morning. Perhaps it's a sign that the threads of fate are being tangled. Yeah, they don't necessarily love war, but they just are a super military nation who does seem to be an aggressor from things we've seen in the past.
Oh, Rean.
I figured I could find you here.
Yep. The student council will be passing out radios for every classroom, so I'm trying to figure that out at the moment. Are you guys planning on listening to the Chancellor's statement too?
How could we not? He's supposed to be addressing the entire country after all.
Yeah. Whatever it's about, it's going to be something big. I don't think anyone could have imagined the relationship between Crossbell and Erebonia going south like this. I sure hope Angie's okay. What with all of this political turmoil right now.
Toa.
Sorry about that. I'm the student council president. I need to stay focused on what's going on right here, right now. Angie would laugh at me if she could see me getting distracted over her anyway.
That's right. You've got to focus on getting through this. Still, don't try to take on more than you can handle. I'm not the only one ready to give you a hand if you need it.
Will do. Thanks. Oh yeah, why were you looking for me in the first place?
Right. I almost forgot. Do you have any idea where Crow might have gone?
Crow? Nope. I'm afraid not. He didn't mention that he had to go anywhere when I talked to him yesterday, at least.
Was yesterday the last time you saw him?
Yeah. He was giving me back some of the stuff he borrowed from me since graduation's getting so close. That was nice of him, but then he gave me everything he borrowed from Angie, too. It's only polite to give back the stuff you borrowed in person. Now it's more work for me.
Well, that's a very Crow thing to do. Well, I'll keep asking around and find out if anyone knows where he's gone.
Sounds like a good idea. Oh, but make sure you're back in your classroom by noon, okay?
Of course.
Crow came over yesterday to return everything he borrowed from me, but I haven't seen him since. You should ask around and see if someone knows where he is. Sounds like a plan. Well, let's keep looking then. We've checked out everywhere in the student union room at this point. What rooms have we not been in? The gym. That's about all we haven't been in. Interestingly, one person is at the old schoolhouse, of course. Swimming club swimming. Fencing club's fencing. You better not hold back on me, Friedel. Technically, we're not club members anymore, but this seemed like a good way to keep our minds off everything going on right now. Indeed. I'll get one win on you before we graduate. You can count on that. So more people subscribing to the whole keep active, keep it off your mind. Going for a swim really does help you get your head in the right place. I'm worried about my family for sure, but there's not much I can do. All I can do is make the most of my time here. I did it! I beat my best time! Going for a swim really was a good idea. A bit of activity was just what I needed to take my mind off things. Cool. It's okay, Laura. You're the one who told me I should follow the road I believe in, right? I'm sure you'll be fine, no matter what happens. It seems as though you somewhat overestimate my abilities. But I can't think of a greater gift than your trust in me. Thank you, Monica. It seems confusion has spread throughout the Empire after what happened to Corellia Fortress. What do duty and honor demand of us during certain uncertain times like these? I find myself thinking about that more and more often lately. A lot going on. Alright, let's head over to the engineering place. Spoken to literally everyone at this point. Vivian Lind. Alright, do you know where Crow is?
I still can't believe there's a weapon out there powerful enough to level Corellia Fortress like that. I didn't think you could get much more powerful than those railway guns.
Yeah, having seen the railway guns in person, I can hardly believe it myself. There are rumors that whatever that weapon is, it's managed to fend off the armored divisions several times, too.
Still, I can't help but wonder what the Chancellor's gonna say in his national address. Whatever it is, I have a feeling that it's gonna shake up some things around here. This is a military academy, after all. Who knows? We might even see active duty. Even as an engineer, I doubt they'd make an exception for me. Could be that my lazy days tinkering with orbital bikes are numbered.
Oh, don't say that, George.
Well, no point stressing out too much about the future till we're there. Didn't mean to be a downer about it. Go on and listen to the broadcast, but don't worry yourself too much. This country may go through a lot in the coming years, but ultimately, we have a say in our future.
That's a good way to look at it. I don't want to look away from what's happening. We have to be aware of our present to take charge of our future. But anyway, you wouldn't happen to know where Crow is, would you? He hasn't shown up to class today.
Crow? Can't say that I do. He came by yesterday with a box of things he'd borrowed from me, but he never mentioned having any plans today.
Dang. Anyway, I'll keep asking around to see if anyone else knows where he is.
Well, knowing Crow, he's probably just wandering around somewhere. Just keep looking around and I'm sure you'll run into him.
Will do.
No Crow? No help in finding him either. I know it's easier said than done, but life's a lot easier when you try to stay optimistic about stuff. Especially stuff like the Chancellor's address today. Look at Crow, for instance. He just wandered off like he didn't have a care in the world. I guess it's just the way he is. I'm sure you'll stumble across him before too long, though. It's, yeah, George is right, though. He'd be really high up if you were looking at conscription. And, like, looking at people with, like, valuable skill sets. Like, George is there. Very there. I'm just gonna pop another save down. It's been a little while. Not that we've got any missables anymore. He says, having all recipes and all fish and all that. Right. No Millium, no Crow.
Nothing out of the ordinary has happened here in the old schoolhouse ever since that night. We kind of ended up pushing it to the back of our minds, what with the way things have been going in Crossbell. Huh? It's unlocked. I wonder if someone's already inside. George is in the engineering building right now, so it can't be him. If any of the students just idly wandered in here, they'd be in real danger. I should probably take a look inside, just in case. I checked around inside of the old schoolhouse, but there didn't seem to be anyone around. But all the same, I didn't want a chance leaving anyone down there, so I decided to check the 7th floor.
Well, Rean doesn't have an echoey brain. tasked to guard this by any chance?
Millium?
Oh, Rean! Come to take a sneak peek too?
Is this where you've been the whole time? You do know we have class, right?
Oh. Dang, I knew I was forgetting something.
Honestly. So, what's piqued your interest? It doesn't look like this thing has anything in common with Erebonia.
I don't know. I can't shake the feeling that it might, at least a little. Not the same, but like they share some kind of underlying principle.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
I guess you wouldn't really understand without being connected. But now it makes sense why Gramps asked me to keep an eye on this place, though. I had no idea there'd be something this cool down here.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Chancellor Osborne? Did he know there was something like this here?
Not really sure. He just asked me to keep an eye on the building itself. And said to let him know if anything unusual happened. Whoopsie! That was supposed to be confidential.
So, the Chancellor has an interest in our quaint old schoolhouse, does he? We did just find out that Captain Claire is a Thors graduate, but...
Hey, what you thinking about?
Say, Millium, was investigating the old schoolhouse the reason you enrolled at the academy?
Well, sorta, but it was more of a side thing. There was a more important reason, but that kinda stopped being a concern. So I guess it's just this now.
Something more important than this? Not sure what she's getting at. Doesn't sound like she's trying to hide something important from me, though.
Oh yeah! It's almost time for Gramps' speech, isn't it? I guess I should head back and listen to him drone on.
Oh, so you already knew about that. We were all planning to listen in the classroom.
Sweet! I'll just listen with you guys then. What are we waiting for? Let's go!
Nothing keeps you down for long, does it? Oh yeah, you haven't seen Crow around anywhere, have you?
Huh? Nope. Is he cutting class too?
Well, he's probably just hiding out somewhere on campus. None of the others have seen him, though. I wonder if he went into town.
Huh, maybe. Wanna try looking around Trista? I'll come with you.
Sounds like a good idea. If he's not on the school grounds, chances are he's somewhere in town. All right, let's see if we can find him.
Well, into Trista we go. We've lost the generators, whatever was being... Maybe it was a measurement server, I don't even know. Walk me out of here, Scotty. Much better than an elevator. Okay. So now we're leaving for the front entrance. May as well just walk there, right? I've talked to everyone after all.
Okay, so are we gonna track down Crow?
Might as well. I guess we should start with the dorms first. Maybe Sharon knows where he's gone.
Okie dokie.
Oh my god! They're even giving us one last sweep through Trista town. Obviously it's to go to the dorm then. Kids best friends again? Hey, have you gone out have you forgotten how badly you lost to me during the festival already? That's why I want to take you on again. I've been shoving up my skills since then, so let's play some Blade. Doesn't matter, you're still gonna lose. You're really getting on my nerves. I do wonder if the upper class dorm has had most of its students go away. Most of the upper class students have returned home. I'm sure that the lower class students will follow suit if war breaks out. But if that happens, what's going to become of the academy? Perhaps I should push those thoughts to my mind. I'm sure my worrying won't help matters. That's exactly his thought. Vincent's still here, though. Father strictly demanded that I return home. However, I cannot heed such a command. I am the graceful and noble Vincent Florald. One such as I could never flee if it meant leaving his beloved sister behind. That's good, then. Lady Ferris has declared in no uncertain terms that she will not be leaving the academy. As a maid of the Florald family, it was my duty to heed the wishes of both Lady Ferris and Master Vincent. With that in mind, it seems we will remain at Thors for a while longer. Seems like mostly everyone else has gone, though. Patrick's gone.